Hey guys, if you're struggling to solo rank up, then this video is perfect for you. There are some heroes who make it easier to rank up because of how effective they are in the current meta. In this video, I will present you the top 15 hero for solo ranking. If you can master any of these, you should have no problem reaching the highest rank eventually. If you need a build or tutorial for any of these heroes, you can check the links for those videos in the description. The list is not in any particular order, and heroes that are banned almost all the time are not included in this list, such as Bakito, Mathilda, X-Borg, Kaja, and so on. And without further ado, let's start with the list. But before we continue, a quick shout out to the amazing sponsor of this video. A VPN service provides you a secure, encrypted tunnel for your online activity. Nobody can see what you are doing and get their hands on your internet data. NordVPN is a great VPN service provider if you are looking for peace of mind when you're using a public Wi-Fi or want to keep your browsing history to yourself. Although some people are skeptical about using a VPN because even though the internet service provider can no longer see your online activity, the VPN service provider does. But NordVPN does have the reputation of taking this part very seriously and will not track, collect, or share your private data. Another great feature about using VPN is that some websites are country restricted, so by using a VPN, you can bypass this kind of restriction. The best part about NordVPN is that with just one account, you can secure up to 6 devices at the same time. If you want a more secure internet, you can download NordVPN using my link in the description below, and for a limited amount of time, if you use my code Vitoski, you will get a 2-year plan plus 4 additional months with a huge discount. Yi Sun-shin is the only marksman in the game that is also an assassin, which means he gains the full stat from War Axe. Thanks to this mechanic, he has tons of physical penetration, damage, and mobility. A very deadly combo for a marksman. His skill sets and passive allow him to farm and clear the wave pretty fast. His ult can be used to give vision on the enemies at the very crucial moments of the game. When you combine all of this, you can already see why he's one of the strongest marksmen in the current meta. Choi is a very versatile hero. If your team needs a tank, he can easily fulfill that role. If they need a fighter, then he can be playing the side lane. Either role he can still do pretty damn well. But if you want to master this hero, then you gotta put a lot of time. This is one of those heroes that you gotta become a one trick for a while, so you can dodge and kick at the perfect timing. And if you're into fancy stuff and like to show off, you can do a lot of flicker tricks with him. Lancelot got a nice revamp in the latest update. Now he's a lot easier to use and even deadlier than before. His dashes is a lot easier to connect and you will have no problem at resetting them once you get used to the new adjustment. His damage output is incredible and his mobility is superb, making him one of the best assassins at ignoring the enemy's front lines and just going straight to the enemy's squishy lineup. Just try not to go too Rambo with him and be the focus of attention because he's still quite squishy himself. But his second skill is a great tool at immuning lethal CC skills and burst skills. Nathan ult got improved as well in the latest update. Now he truly has a blink skill, which makes him a lot harder to kill now. If you know how to position yourself during the team fight and use it right before the enemy manage to hit you with their CC skills. Nathan is the only marksman who can hit so hard with just one skill, and now that he's a lot harder to catch, he's just a force to be reckoned with for the opposition. If you truly want to rank up extremely fast, then spamming this hero is not a bad idea. He's that insane of a hero right now. Barras is the total package. He can tank, he can deal tons of damage, he can split push, and most importantly, he's one of the biggest heroes in the game. He can also be played as the jungler. A lot of times, the enemy will try to ignore Bharat because he's so tanky, but then they will underestimate his damage and will end up taking a lot more damage than they expected. Just gotta make sure to keep his stacks up and good timing with his ult, because it's very easy to escape if you're not paying attention to the enemy's movements. Harley's not getting banned as often as before after the small nerf he received, but don't worry about that nerf because he's still extremely deadly in the right hand. You just gotta play in a sneaky way and catch the target off guard. His early to mid game is really powerful, so you can try to end the game pretty quick with this hero, but just keep in mind that even though he can instantly burst the target, he himself is quite squishy as well, so you gotta go back to his hat as soon as you sense danger. Yuzong is one of the strongest fighters in the laning phase. His passive allows him to completely dominate his lane and even deny the enemy's farm if you freeze the lane. Also, he's a nightmare to mage and DPS heroes, because once he's on top of the target, it's quite hard to escape from his grasp, especially if he's using Petrify. However, one of the mistakes that I see often when people play Yuzong is that they stay in the dragon form for too long. If you're right next to the target, don't hesitate and just go for the kill. They kinda nerf how fast marksmen can clear the jungle, but to compensate for that, they buffed Granger first skill and now it deals more damage to the jungle monsters. He's just not how he was, nothing changed for him, but there's nothing needed to change anyway. He was and is still as strong as ever. His fast mobility, long distance ult, and incredible damage output makes him one of the favorite heroes of many. After the revamp she received from the latest update, I think she's an excellent assassin, especially if the enemies have a lot of squishy heroes and not too many CC skills in the opposite team. If those requirements are met, then you will surely have no problem completely destroying the opposition with this extremely scary assassin. Also, if you build her half damage, half tank, she's a total beast in the current meta. You can easily kill anyone from the enemy team, even their tank. But remember that she requires a lot of timing, so don't engage until you think it's the right time to do so. Roger is the only other marksman besides Yi Sun-shin that gets the full staff from War Axe, and because of this alone, his damage output from his first skill is more of an assassin than a marksman. Also, he's probably one of the fastest heroes in the game, and not only that, but he can sustain a lot when he's in his wolf form, something that you'll not expect from a marksman role. His early, mid and late game is very strong, so you never feel like he's a handicap for your team until he gets a lot of items. Right from the start, you can start playing quite aggressively and join the team fights. Lapu Lapu is still one of the best fighters in the side lane. His skill sets allow him to sustain so much, deal tons of damage, and initiate on the enemy's DPS if necessary. He also can clear the wave pretty fast, that gives him a huge advantage on the rotation. You'll be able to clear them almost instantly, which will allow you to rotate and join your team to gank or contest the objectives such as the turtle. The only thing that takes a bit of time to master is his ult plus flicker combo, but once you nail it, you'll see how unstoppable he is. Eve is another one of those heroes who used to get banned a lot, but not anymore, even though she is still as powerful as ever. Her ult allowed her to kill from a very long distance and can also be used to zone out the enemies when your team is trying to push their base. Also, her second skill can be used to clear the wave pretty fast and slow down the enemies by a lot. By the way, although her ult doesn't get cancelled by many CC skills, knock-up skills such as choke kick can cancel it, so just be aware of that. Hayabusa also received a nice revamp in the latest update. Now he can dash to his shadow a lot faster. That allows him to deal an absurd amount of damage almost instantly, and then get away on scratch. But in order to do this efficiently and effortlessly, I would recommend playing on a good phone and to play him very often so you get the feel of it. Also, I don't recommend playing on a tablet for this kind of hero who need very fast hand movements. Hayabusa is a really great hero for solo ranking because he can split push quite easily and it's kinda hard to deal with him because he's not the easiest to catch. He is also one of the best heroes at 1v1. If a squishy hero tries to defend the lane, it's pretty much a kill serve in a silver platter. Esmeralda is also another one of those heroes that you want to build her half damage, half tank. She can sustain quite a lot and at the same time deal a significant amount of damage. Also, if your team is lacking a jungler, you can use her for that role as well. It's actually pretty good. I personally had more success playing her as the jungler than in the side lane. She can carry pretty well if you play smartly and know when to retreat and when to keep pushing forward. And as a bonus, she's in the top 3 thickest heroes in the game. I was a little bit hesitant to include Ling in this list, especially for solo players, because if the enemy tank or support play extremely aggressively right from the start and try to steal your buff or delay it, and your teammates are quite inexperienced at defending the jungle, then it becomes really hard to farm. Ling is one of those heroes that are extremely blue dependent, but the reason I'm including him is because he's just really strong at the moment. If you have a normal early game, then he becomes an absolute nightmare for the enemy mage or any squishy heroes. If your team is falling behind, you can opt to split push instead. He is probably the best hero for that job, because he's one of the hardest heroes to kill if you don't manage to catch him by surprise. And that's it for this list. There are many more great heroes that I didn't include in this list, but in the end, what really matters is how the players play the hero.